So the last thing about the mindset and tactic that worked for me is being genuinely kind. Being genuinely kind is a strength. It's not a weakness, right? It's a strength. And then, of course, living with gratitude, being grateful. Because if you think about it, imagine if you're not grateful for who you are, what you have, and who you have in your life right now. If you can't be if you cannot be grateful for the present, I mean, you'll never be grateful no matter what, because it's always that. I think happiness is over there. I think happiness is over there. I think happiness is the grass is greener on the other side. I think happiness is over there. I think happiness is when this happens. I think it's not true. If we cannot be grateful, and I got this from, I can't remember who said this. It's not happy people who are grateful. It's grateful people who are happy. Right? Think of our parents, right? They both immigrated here, Billy.
Yeah.
Right? But wouldn't you agree that your parents are grateful people?
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, dude. They probably tell you be grateful, right? Like,
yep.
I mean, grateful for having food, grateful for having shelter, dude. That's amazing, right? Being grateful for the little things. Like this morning, I was doing my thing in the shower. I'm so happy and grateful for the shower hitting my head. First thing in the morning, I'm like, man. Some places in the world, like in Japan, where my parents were raised in this little house, there's no water that runs that early in the morning. Because it was like some sort of like village system, and it just wouldn't happen. And so for us here, we might take it for granted, like, that's obvious, electricity and water, right? But it's a different sense of gratitude to be able to live that way. And then also, it gives us perspective. My grandfather would always share stories about World War II and how he got drafted to the war, right? His whole neighborhood got killed, and he was the only boy that came back. He got drafted at 16 years old. Younger than you, Dodi, sent to war to kill people. But thankfully, he was able to cook, so he didn't get shipped out. He did his training. He did his whatever, but then they realized he can cook for the troops. So he became a chef. And that's what saved his life. And if it wasn't for that, my dad wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here, none of this would be here. Because my grandfather could cook. Think about that. What kind of perspective is that? Imagine if he didn't know how to cook at 16. And it must have been good cooking, because my grandfather became a chef and all that stuff, but at 16 years old, I was playing video games all day, dude.
Yep.
My gosh, I can't imagine being trained how to shoot and kill and, shoot on sight and all this stuff, and learning how to, bayonet people and all this craziness. So, perspective, gratitude. But